Sadiq Khan is no stranger to showing his true colors, and this latest disgrace just sums the guy up. In today's video, we will be discussing what Sadiq Khan has done and why it has and will anger Britons. Not only that, but we will also go over all of the latest news from up and down the country. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and join our fast-growing community. Sadiq Khan's Transport for London, TfL, has come under fire for a series of billboards showing a controversial Islamic preacher and a Russian-linked fighter across the capital. The adverts for Islamic finance firm Wahed show Muslim preacher Ismail ibn Musa Menk, known as Mufti Menk, and Ramzan Kadyrov, linked ex-UFC fighter Khabib Nurmagomedov. Londoners taking the tube on stations like Holborn and Moorgate in the centre of the capital, riding on the Piccadilly Underground line, and taking the 92 bus route can expect to see the two controversial brand ambassadors advertising the firm across London. In one, Menk can be seen holding a briefcase of burning money underneath the caption, "Join the Money Revolution," while in another, Khabib is pictured raising his index finger, a traditional Islamic pose, below the words, "Withdraw from riba," usury. In another, the same photo of Menk with the briefcase accompanies a wall of text describing how charging interest was once called exploitation, but has now led to a massive wealth gap. The firm specializes in Sharia-compliant investments. Through Wahed, customers can place their money in halal, permissible in Arabic investments, structured in accordance with the strictest Islamic principles, as charging interest is forbidden in the religion. After vetting by the firm's Sharia Review Bureau, Wahed puts its customers' money in carefully screened non-interest-bearing funds. Any investments which may see money earned through alcohol, gambling, impure food like pork, tobacco, or adult entertainment are off limits. The ad campaign can be seen on billboards, buses, and the London Underground, but the pair featuring in the posters have sparked concern from critics. Tory London Assembly member Susan Hall, speaking to GB News, highlighted the disparity between the Wahed ads and the controversial banning of comedian Ed Gamble's posters because they featured a hot dog. She told the People's Channel, "The Wahed advert on TfL services begs a lot of questions about the mayor's policing of advertising. If Wahed had wanted to advertise their platform with a high-calorie meal on the tube, it would be banned, but apparently a preacher banned from other countries for promoting religious discord is fine. We strongly urge TfL to reconsider the suitability of this advert, particularly when they so quickly clamp down on others." Hall was referring to Menk's ban from entering Singapore in 2017 for what the country said were unacceptable, segregationist, and divisive teachings. Meanwhile, Khabib Nurmagomedov, who also features across the firm's billboards, has been gifted luxury cars and been handed honorary citizenship of Chechnya by Russian warlord Kadyrov, who himself is a close Putin ally. A Transport for London spokesman told British Stand, "This advert was reviewed and found to comply with our advertising policy." This is how some Britons reacted to this. Khan is a bought and paid for mayor. Nigel Farage was correct when he said so. "Carnage and his Muslim mates have destroyed our once great capital. You take your life in your own hands if you go out after dark there now." Dave said, "Sadiq Khan has form for hateful adverts. Who has forgotten the picture of the white family being described as not being representative of Londoners?" In other news, business leaders said they are outraged over Labour's landmark employment reforms. The new law, which ministers will unveil later today, will give 9 million workers the right to launch unfair dismissal claims from their first day. Flexible working, including working from home, will also be made the default for all where possible. However, there are fears that while the bill has good intentions, it could tie small firms up in red tape, causing bosses to freeze employment. National Chairman of the Federation of Small Businesses, FSB, Martin McTague, "With all the good intentions, this will inject fear into that employment relationship. It makes most small businesses very nervous." Policy Chair at the FSB Tina McKenzie called the bill a rushed job, clumsy, chaotic and poorly planned. Beyond warm words, It lacks any real pro-growth element and will increase economic inactivity, seriously jeopardizing the government's own 80% employment target. However, Labour MPs and trade unions hailed the reforms, with TUC Chair Paul Nowak saying the government can use its overhaul of workers' rights to win over disaffected Tory and Reform voters. He said, Labour's workers' rights plans are hugely popular across the political spectrum, including with Tory and Reform voters. After 14 years of stagnating living standards, people desperately want secure jobs they can build a decent life on. The government's plan to make work pay, delivered in full, would improve incomes and the quality of work across Britain. It's time to turn the page on the Tories' low rights, low-pay economy that has allowed good employers to be undercut by the bad. It's time to make work pay again. Chief Executive of UK Hospitality, Kate Nichols, said she was pleased that Labour recognised the importance of flexibility, however warned the government to take its time, avoid unintended consequences. In other news, a senior US meteorologist has said he has feared for his life as Hurricane Milton has stormed through Florida, leaving more than 3 million homes without power. At least 2 people have been killed and 5 have been taken to hospital after one of the state's worst storms on record swept across the Sunshine State. Speaking in an interview from Sarasota, meteorologist Matthew Capucci shared his experience of having to hunker down to wait out the storm, using an emergency exit sign as his only source of light. Detailing events of the hurricane, Capucci said, "This is actually an emergency light that apparently was blowing around in the parking lot. This is the only light I can find around. I'm in Sarasota, which was hit dead on by this hurricane. We had winds gusting 160 to 175 kilometers per hour, where I was in a storm surge. Water pushed against the coast at 3 to almost 4 meters, and downtown Sarasota is underwater." Noting that Milton is one of the worst storm outbreaks on record, Capucci warned that the hurricane's path is headed for the tourist favorite city, Orlando, fearing for the damage that may be caused. Capucci explained, "We've had incredible rains, and now that same rain, that same wind is spreading farther east to cities like Orlando, where Disney World is, and is home to 1 million-plus people. This is one of Florida's worst tornado outbreaks on record, and realistically, the state has seen just about every type of bad weather there is today, and it will take at least another 6 to 8 hours before things are finally done." What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.